She is a belter, different from the rest. Diamonds on her finger and she always looks her best. She is a gangster with 100-mile stare. When she walks, her feet don't touch a floor. She is a belter.
Hello, welcome back to IT'S Medicinal, and it's another sandwich. Today, Harvey.
Hello.
What have we got?
We've got Big Purple Duck, so we've got Emma today.
Hello.
Hi, Emma. How are you?
Nervous.
Nervous of Harvey and I? Surely not.
Not you and Harvey specifically, but yeah, like I just said, I am home alone all the time, and I never speak to humans, and I have social anxiety anyway, so I am sweating a little bit.
It's going to be fine. It's just chatting to me, just chatting to Harvey. Harvey will be nice. I've asked him to be nice.
I can't bite over the phone.
So, Emma, we've been chatting on Twitter for quite a while, I think, a good few years now, so I know quite a lot about you.
Good.
Quite a lot. You've been type 1 diabetic a while.
Yes.
So when were you diagnosed?
I was 3. And I don't recall very much.
So you're a wee diagnosis. So you're in your 20s now. I don't know if you want to say how long ago that was, but 20-something years ago.
Yeah, 26.
Yeah. So you don't know much about that, I guess, because you were too young.
I remember bits, and my mum loves talking, so she told me the story a lot of times.
Okay. So, yeah. Was there any major issues when you were first diagnosed? I guess because being so little, it must have been hard for your mum to manage, was it?
I think so, yeah. I didn't really fully appreciate until I had my own daughter how terrifying that must have been. And how bad the fear of hypos must have been. I did, not long after diagnosis, have one bad hypo, but I had a fit and they had to call out an ambulance. So I can't imagine how scary it was to be injecting such a small child with a medicine that could kill them, and then sending them off to school for several hours of the day. And obviously at that time there was no such thing as even mobile phones, so they had no idea what was happening while I was at school.
Yeah. The same for me. I was a little bit older than you, but the same thing happened. You know, you take an injection in the morning and then bye, off you go.
Yeah.
And hopefully come back alive 6 or 7 hours later.
Yeah. Did you start on 2 injections a day?
Yeah, what was it called? The mix 10 thing. You know, you got your long acting and short acting. So take the jab in the morning, have something to eat, hopefully last until lunchtime. Really high pose. Lunch, and then usually the second jab for me was kind of before or just after dinner.
Yeah,
administered by my dad at the time, so it was kind of dependent on when he was there, I suppose.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, you did the same. You had the 2 jabs a day.
Yeah, and it was syringes when I first started, and you had to drop the insulin from vials yourself, and yeah.
Wow, the old school stuff. I guess you never had that.
No.
Yeah. Well, I guess you never had that, Harvey. Someone administer the insulin to you, except maybe when you were first diagnosed.
No, I've only ever never administered it to myself when I was on drips when I was in hospital, which obviously was a different thing anyway, really, because that was just trying to make sure that I didn't just keel over and have a heart attack. But yeah, so no, I've never had to deal with anything to do with syringes or anything like that. So I think I've been pretty fortunate being in the time that I'm in. I'm glad that I wasn't diagnosed when I was younger, because I think that would have been a massive pain, because my mum wouldn't have been bothered enough to make sure that was happening. She'd have left it to my sisters, and they weren't mature enough to make sure that sort of stuff was happening. So that would have been a challenge.
Yeah. It's I guess there's no easy time to be diagnosed, but I feel with modern technology and the way we use insulin now, whether that's pumps or basal bolus, and it's all loaded in a pen for you in the vein, it's a little bit easier than it might have been maybe 20 years ago plus, 30 years ago plus for me. Maybe, I'm not suggesting that it's easy, but it's perhaps easier.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
Yeah.
Having said all that, though, I've always been grateful I was diagnosed so young, because I don't remember life without it. So for me, checking my blood sugar and taking insulin is a bit like brushing my teeth. It's just something I do and always have done. I don't have any way of comparing it to a life without, so...
Yeah. So I guess, you would never have known because you were so young. I was only 8, but I still have images in my head of not being a diabetic, not having to inject, albeit, just for that short time. Harvey's just a youngster as well.
Yeah.
Still has quite a chunk of life without that. Do you ever think back to those days, Harvey, and be like, well, life was cool then, or were you just so, because you were quite poorly for quite a while, weren't you, before diagnosis? You were just...
Yeah, like, I remember, like, before I was, like, sick, because I got really ill, like, I never felt quite right, like, all the way through my teens, and I think I did maybe have type 1 diabetes already presenting a few symptoms then, but maybe not, I was still in, like, some sort of... It was just starting to kick in, and it was a very, very slow process for my body system to eventually stop producing insulin. But I think for the longest time, because I'm not bothered anymore, but I think for the longest time, maybe like a couple of years or so after I was diagnosed, I was very bitter about the fact that I couldn't just do what I wanted in terms of like food and things like that. I have to plan something, like, I'm a lot more happy-go-lucky than a lot of people are, but I think being diagnosed when you're older does present that massive challenge of, but I was fine before, so why am I not fine now? I think there's like a big impact on like your mental health with it. So I think, absolutely, probably right, you are. If you're going to get diabetes, you're probably luckier getting diabetes earlier, so you don't have a reference for it, so it's just your normal. I wouldn't wish it upon anybody, I'm not saying that I would, but I think it's a lot easier to deal with if you've been dealing with it and you don't remember when you had to start dealing with it, whereas obviously I was really bitter and quite angry for quite a while about it, which meant that I didn't take care of myself as well as I should have and stuff like that as well. So, that's what it is.
Do you feel now, you've had it a few years now, do you feel more sort of engaged with it? It's more part of your life. You feel more conditioned to just being a diabetic now. It is what it is now. You don't fight against it anymore.
Yeah, I'm still not like a perfect diabetic. I don't test my blood all the time and stuff like that, and I'm not interested in like the tech stuff, so I can be like more on the ball with it and things like that. My diabetes works around my life. I don't work my life around my diabetes. I'm not bothered. So I'll do like a lot of stuff that I would normally have done anyway. Like, I'm not fussed about like going out on a night out, and I won't check my blood while I'm out. I won't check my insulin or anything like that. So it's not really affected me too much. But yeah, I think I'm more cautious now than I was when I first started doing it. Like, I would go and get like as blackout drunk as I could because I just felt so terrible about my life, because I was just ill now and that's it. And, as soon as someone finds out you've got diabetes or any other health condition really that, if they don't know you or don't get to know you, sometimes people just look at you and go, that's that person that's sick. And you're like, oh, well, that's cool. Cheers, thanks. So.
I relate to that. I always felt different at school because of my diabetes. And I was the diabetic.
Yeah.
Same. Did you find that you used to hide it at school, if you could?
Definitely secondary school for sure, yeah.
Yeah. Definitely the same for me as well. Yeah, I would hide it into early adulthood, so yeah, go on.
I used to, just a funny anecdote, I would go and eat lunch at lunchtime, and then I would go to the nurse's office to take my insulin after, so like taking my insulin like 20 minutes after I've eaten, God knows what my blood sugars were doing. But so I used to inject in my thighs, and went to the nurse's office one day and went to the toilet, did my injection, came back out, and was walking away, and it being lunchtime, there were several people sitting outside the nurse's office waiting to go in, and I didn't realise till I walked away and turned around the corner that I hadn't zipped up my trousers at the back.
Whoops.
And I was not the most popular kid in school, so it really did not do my street cred any favours.
Oh.
Bless.
Diabetes. Gets you in more ways than you think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh. So, alongside diabetes, you've got a couple of the fun conditions, I guess, for one of the better terms, that you manage on a day-to-day. I think most people will know that if they follow you on Twitter, that they might know that you've got ME. I'm sure that plays a part in your life, quite a big part in your life. But alongside that, you have a visual impairment as well.
Yeah, I'm just a shambles.
So, in terms of your visual impairment, it's not a diabetes complication, is it?
No, I am just unlucky. So it turns out for me that the diabetes is genetic because my mum was diagnosed at 50 with type 1. But I also inherited my eye condition from my mum. Thanks, Mum. So it's got a really long name, but it's shortened to RP. And for us, what it means is we do not have very much field of vision. So our central vision mine currently is fine. So I can use my phone and read and write without any issues at the moment, but I have very little in the way of periphery vision.
Okay. Yeah. So I have a similar thing. It's slightly diminished for me. Perhaps not quite more severe for you, severe as you. Does this affect you in terms of how you get by with your diabetes day to day? I mean, you said your centre vision is okay, so I guess you're okay in terms of injecting blood tests, food and things, or is it getting to the stage where that's becoming difficult for you?
No, that is all fine for me currently. Not quite so much for my mum, but it's a degenerative eye disease, and my mum is obviously quite older than me, so her central vision is now becoming affected. But no, in terms of reading the carbs on packaging and things, I don't have any issues there.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully it stays that way, but foreseeable. But as you said, it's something that will, over time, get worse. It seems. Is that the way it works? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, for sure. I always tell people that I live old enough, I will go completely blind. But given the lifelong diabetes, that's not likely. So.
Well, perhaps, yeah. I can only imagine with type 1 visual impairment. I've got the same too, so snap. But the same way. But alongside that, with ME as well, I'm aware, based upon your tweets, about how that affects you sometimes. Do you find it, just sometimes can be so debilitating to you that things pale into insignificance? Is it a major thing in your life?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like the ME is the hardest, but I think that's possibly partly because it's the one I've had for the shortest length of time. So, like I said, I've always had diabetes, so it's not really. It doesn't. I mean, I have my moments and I do cry about it, but it's never really rocked my mental health too much. My vision, I'd known from about 14 that was going to happen to me. So, and it's gradual. So I've always been night blind, and my peripheral vision has slowly gotten worse. So it's been there for quite some time. But the ME is fairly new for me. I've only developed that in the last 2 or 4 years. So I do wonder if it's because it's new that I find it hardest.
Yeah. So something that could take a while to adjust to. I'm quite naive to ME. Is it something that will always be with you, or something that can get better, or?
So the thing is with ME that the doctors can't even tell me that. Basically, you get this diagnosis when you're not quite right and you feel like crap quite a lot, but all your tests are showing up fine, you seem to be perfectly healthy, but you just feel crap. Basically, this is just a diagnosis of there's nothing else wrong. So doctors don't know what causes it, so they can't really tell me the prognosis, how long it might last, if it might get better, if it might get worse, and there is no treatment for it either, so it's just a case of managing my activity levels, really. Yeah.
Sounds like a tough condition.
It's pretty shite, yeah.
I can't imagine juggling so many things, that not just only juggling so many health conditions. You've got a little girl as well, haven't you? Little duck.
Yeah, I do. Yep, she's 5.
So you've got to manage Little Duck and Mr. Duck and being a mum and a wolf.
It's definitely more the case that Mr. Duck manages me and Little Duck, for sure. It's going out with her, with diabetes and a visual impairment and the ME, which makes me feel, there's only so much I can do before I start to feel quite unwell. And then that makes the concentrating on looking where I'm going and things much more difficult. And it also, any symptoms can be quite similar to hypo and hyper symptoms at times, so it makes managing the diabetes harder. And because when I'm out with her, I have one hand on my bike game, one hand holding her hand so that I know where she is at all times. I have no hands left with which to check my blood sugars. It's quite difficult. The combination of them all is quite difficult.
Do you find it quite daunting when it comes to planning the day out? So, having a little girl, you're going to want to do things with her, of course, but is it quite a mission to plan the day ahead? Yeah,
very, very much so. And in terms of going out with her, I'll only go out myself for maybe 3 hours or so. If it's a day out, I absolutely need to have somebody with me. So fortunately, my husband's great, and some days he really deserves a medal for getting her and me through the zoo in one piece. So he's brilliant and he does everything he can. But of course, naturally, he gets quite overwhelmed because she's 5. She runs about a lot. She's loud. She's a bit nuts, and so trying to keep an eye on her and make sure that she's safe, whilst at the same time making sure that I'm not tripping over anything or impaling anybody on my cane, and not keeling over with a hypo because I haven't been able to stop and check. It's a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot of factors to take into account. I do understand, with having a visual impairment more severe in years gone by than it is now. There's a lot to consider just on a simple day out, even just a simple, visit to the park baby or something like that, you've got to consider steps. Is your blood sugar going to be okay before you go out? Are the kids going to be safe? There's a lot of little things that play on your mind, just the little simple things, such as, like I said, a day at the park or an afternoon at the park, that maybe other people don't have to consider. They can just jump in the car, have a nice day, and come back home.
Yeah, I can't even wrap my head around what that's like.
Yeah, I guess it must have been a while. Go ahead.
The thing is, I can do it. I can do that stuff, but it just takes so much more planning and mental preparation, because it is really stressful, and so you kind of have to steel yourself before you go to be like, okay, this is going to be tricky. Let's not lose our shit.
Yeah. I was going to say, do you find it plays on your if you know, I dare say a Scotswoman would have more of a temper than anybody else. I'm sure you've got an equal temper as anybody else, Scottish, English, Welsh, whatever. Do you find it kind of winds you up a bit and you might lose your temper more, or you find you pushed to the edge a little bit more?
Well, I'm not really... I don't really have that much of a temper, to be quite honest with you. I can get worked up about stuff, but I won't ever shout or lash out, really. But I do get worked up, but it's mostly anxiety for me, is getting overwhelmed. So when I'm out with a little duck, and she's like running off and not being compliant, but I'm not feeling too great and I really need to sit down and check my blood. I don't get worked up and angry in that situation. I get worked up and overwhelmed and really anxious. And so keeping on top of my anxiety is hard work when I'm out with her, for sure. And I'm also just constantly a little bit terrified that I'm going to lose her because I can't speak.
I guess. Do you find that as she's gotten older, she understands mum's condition? Yeah.
The absolute worst bit when she was about 2 and was walking but couldn't walk very far. But you know that way when they do the arch back thing that you try and put them in their pram. We'll walk. Oh my good God. Oh, it's so tiring just even going like around the corner, because they don't walk in a straight line at that age, and they have absolutely no understanding of danger at all. So I was like crippled by anxiety that she would just run out on the road and I wouldn't see, and it would be too late by the time I realised.
Goodness me, I can imagine that. So Harvey, do you have any questions, comments you want to?
I don't really have any questions. I just wanted to say that I do think it is amazing, though, that you don't really allow that like anxiety to affect you and stop you from doing stuff like going to the zoo like you did, and stuff like that. And I think it's absolutely great that you've got like a bit of a support network where you can ask advice and like what to do with stuff like that, say like on Twitter and things like that, because I have seen that. Obviously I've spoken to you before about like certain things and stuff like that, but I think that's absolutely great that you don't let it just grind you down, because it's not something, yes, so you've got like a visual impairment and stuff like that, but you don't really allow it to dictate the fact that you cannot do something. You tend to, fair enough, you've got all the anxiety about it and you have to mentally prepare, but you still do it anyway, which I think is absolutely phenomenal. I think that's great.
Thank you, I really appreciate that. You made a good point about the support network, though, particularly with the AME and somewhat the visual impairment. I don't know how I'd have managed without Twitter and being able to talk to other people that have the same conditions and who understand how difficult that is, but also understand the need to go and do it anyway. I'm really grateful for the support I get on Twitter, for sure. It holds me up a lot of days, because it is hard. And there are days where it's all just a bit too much and I can't quite believe my luck. And I do go down with it sometimes, but Twitter is one of the main places that lifts me up, for sure.
Yeah. Do you find the support good based upon all of your conditions? You're quite a verbal person on Twitter, Emma?
Yeah.
Have you found any conflicts at all?
Numerous. But to be honest, it's not so much, not so much personal differences. I'm not really, like I say, I'm quite conflict averse, so I don't like it. But I do have some quite strong, raging feminist sort of views, and so that has caused me some problems. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's good to be yourself, though, isn't it?
Yeah, totally, and I do enjoy that, but I don't enjoy some of the arguments that come as a result. I know that tweeting about that sort of stuff, that is going to happen, but I do find the conflict difficult. And I think I probably do lose my patience a bit, and I'm not brilliant at having a conversation about it with somebody that I disagree with.
I think it's very difficult too, because if you don't have the same opinion as someone and you can't fathom how their opinion works because you just see it as not right, because I think me and you have quite similar opinions on certain things. I think that the way that other people come across, sometimes you can be like, right, I'm just not gonna jump to this argument because there's no need for it. They're just clearly wrong. Whereas in reality, it is just an opinion, and everybody's opinion is valid. I do go on Twitter and do a little bit of a rant every once in a while, like my opinion is the be all and end all, but I absolutely totally understand that other people's opinions on things that are subjective are still valid, even though I think that they are fundamentally wrong.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that they're not, valid with their opinion, even if the outcome of such an opinion would be harmful to other people. Opinions are opinions, but it's really difficult to have just a conversation and not have an argument with somebody that's got that other opinion, because they can't see how in the world your opinion is valid, but at the same time you really struggle to see how their opinion can be anything like realistic, but in their mind it totally is. It's really, really boggling. So, but I totally get that. I totally get how it's really difficult to sometimes put your opinion forth because you know that you're going to get backlash from it, because I do it quite a lot. I'm quite controversial with some of the things that I say, and I know a lot of people ignore it because they know that I don't back down either. So,
Yes, I felt the sharpness of Harvey's tongue a few times in the last, I don't know, how long have we been chatting now, Harvey?
At least a couple of years. I started using my Twitter for when I was diagnosed for diabetes support and stuff, and it's changed massively since then. And the people that I follow have changed massively as well. So maybe a couple of years, I think, that we've chatted on and off.
It must be something like that, yeah. I think with social media, you fall in with a bunch of people you just get along with more than others, and maybe you just stick with that circle, and the occasional person pops up and it's a new one, and if you get along, fantastic. And sometimes you can get along at first, and then you find out a little more, and then you don't get along later. I think it's just part of Twitter. But for me, that's kind of the joy of Twitter as well, is the diversity in opinions and people. And I like to think that I can accept people, even if that opinion that they've got is absolutely fucking stupid. I'll still accept them for who they are and what they've got to say, even if it doesn't match my perspective.
Yeah, I think you can have like an opinion that's complete garbage, but that doesn't make you a bad person. It just makes you opinionated sometimes. So, you know, but yeah, I have like, you know, disagreed with you a couple of times before. So, you know, there's no harm, no foul. If you don't agree with something, you don't agree with something. That's just how it is.
Of course, exactly. And you know, we don't have many fist fights. We've never met. But maybe
no, we have to wait until we meet face to face so that I can just like, you know, beat you down with a brick or something, you know.
There's no way I'm having a fist fight with you. You're like a foot taller than me.
I will destroy you.
Okay, get on with your days then. I'll go and get on with mine. I'll catch up with you both on Twitter in a little while.
Okay.
Thank you.
Guys, have a good day.
Bye.
Bye.